I don't know, thank y'all for tuning in the video today. Today we're going to talk about the Hurricane high output in the RHO. And y'all, this truck, just everything it does is pretty amazing. I think this Hurricane engine wasn't marketed correctly, in my opinion. But, you know, what I will say is I came from diesels since I was 16 years old. I have driven diesels my whole life. And one of the main reasons that I like driving the diesels is I like that low end torque. You know, I don't like something that's shifting, it's having to rev all the way up to pull something, you know, stuff like that. And I think, you know, and I'll give Ford credit on this too, because when the EcoBoost came out, I towed a fishing boat, saltwater boat. It was pretty big, pretty heavy, with a half ton. And that 3.5 EcoBoost, it was very comparative to pulling with a diesel truck. And I was very surprised, I was impressed. And so, you know, you take these turbocharged, smaller engines, you know, the 3.5s, you know, just like this Hurricane. And it's pretty amazing. You know, I pulled the boat this weekend, and I will say this, I mean, you know, we're like in comparison to Hemi, where you're sitting there running 3,700, 3,800, you know, it's staying, you know, higher RPMs, lower gears. You know, y'all, this thing's sitting in 7th gear, 8th gear, running, you know, 2,500 RPM, towing my Tri-Tune with a 350 Merc on it. I mean, significant. You know, it handles it, you know, and I think that's one of the things that I like about this engine so much, and it's one of the reasons, because, man, you know, I've tried to transition from diesels to like Hemis before, and it just didn't work for me. I mean, you know, the Hemi's a good tone, it's got good power, it's got good dependability, but it just wasn't that, you know, that low end torque, you know, that not revving up in every gear. I mean, y'all, I'm like, for example, right now I'm just doing a standard acceleration, and this thing's, you know, 1700 in between shifts. I mean, it's not up there at the, you know, 2,700, 3,000. And I think that's the difference. And, you know, towing with this thing, sitting there running, I'm gonna plug that real quick. Towing with this thing, sitting there running, you know, 70, 75 miles an hour with my big boat, it's sitting there at 2,600 RPM, just Cadillac, you know, and if I need to speed up or slow down, it's not grabbing 3 gears and wrapping out to 4 grand, you know. And I think if you go look at JB, give him a shout out, JB Reviews, go check out his channel. He did a comparison between the Hemi and the Hurricane. Now, he was on a steep grade at elevation and lots of things in play, but that Hemi was wrapped out. I mean, even more than the Hurricane, towing up that hill. And if you watch that video, you'll kind of understand what I'm saying, right? The Hurricane actually did perform a little bit better in his video than the Hemi, but, you know, they were pretty close. But that's towing max capacity, up a hill, up a grade, all those things. But your daily towing, you know, let's say you're towing your boat to the lake, or you're towing something like that, this thing is very, very capable. Very capable. And y'all know, I mean, if you get the high output in a tungsten, or you get it in a limited without the 35s, without the larger sport truck, I mean, this truck's a little bit heavier than the other vehicles. Guys, that half ton runs like a rocket with this high output. And y'all know I'm going to order a TRX. I do love the TRX. I've had it before, and that thing is just, it's power all the time. But in the comparison between those two trucks, like I've said in my other videos, I mean, your single digit mileage, you know, on your average versus, you know, this one averages 13 to 14, which for my driving is pretty good, because, you know, I'm on the highway a bunch, I'm in town a bunch, do a lot of idling, stuff like that. So I think my TRX average was about 9. And that's going, picking the kids up, car line, stuff like that. So, but I'm sitting at 11,836 miles on this Hurricane high output, y'all, and everything you'll hear about them. You know, change your oil, take care of them. You know, I don't beat on this truck hard. I drive it, and I do some towing with it. And I do have the Generation 2 Timber Grove airbags on it, y'all. Those are amazing. They don't change the ride at all. I've got the Air Logic pump. I've got all those videos on my channel if you want to check those out. But this truck is very capable, and you know, and I think what people miss is it's the price point that you can get all these features, you know. And I've said it in my videos before, you get the digital rearview mirror, you get the passenger screen, the hands-free driving is amazing, you know, all those things in a truck. The stickers for about 86, and most dealers you can find these for 5 to 10 grand off. And if you don't want the hands-free driving and the massage seats and a lot of these features that come on this truck, yeah, the base truck is 10 grand cheaper. So, you know, you're looking at, this truck's a 85, 86 sticker. You know, you go look at one of those base trucks, you're 75, you know, and then you get 5 to 10 off of that. I mean, you're getting a pretty good truck for the price point. You know, something that's a little bit more capable than just your standard half ton. So anyway, just kind of want to do a video on that, talking about my experience with this truck. You know, if you watch my videos, you've seen too that the road trips we make in this thing, the road noise, the acoustic glass, I mean, everything in it. I haven't done anything to this truck. I drive it completely stock. It's got, I think, a 1-inch level on the front, just to pick the front up a little bit. But y'all, we love road tripping this vehicle, and my wife loves driving it. I love driving it, and it is fun to drive. And I've had a lot of new vehicles. I've had, you know, the Fords, Rams, the GM. Y'all seen my channel, and I had a lot of half tons back 3 or 4 years ago that are on my channel also. And there is nothing that's probably as much fun to drive on the daily as this truck. This truck is absolute. I look forward to getting up. I look forward to driving it. And I haven't had a truck in a long time that you know, I really look forward to driving, and I look forward to going on a road trip with it, you know. And so just want to kind of put that out there. You know, again, every video I say this, I challenge you to go test drive one. Go test drive one of these RHOs. Test drive it, come back, comment on this video, drop below what, you know, absolutely hate it, you love it. Give me an honest opinion, because I want my subscribers and my followers to see what people think about them. I've had more than probably a dozen people convert to these RHOs on my channel and send me personal messages and say, man, you weren't lying. I went and bought this RHO. This thing's amazing. It is so much fun to drive. I don't get paid anything from Ram. I'm just being 100% honest with you. There was nothing going to take me out of the HDs until this truck. And I've driven all the other half tons. And, you know, in comparison, and this is to be fair, man, that Raptor right now, the Raptor R, that's a really nice truck too. You know, if you want the power, you want all the stuff that comes with it, you know, I'm not going to dock it. You know, I think, to be honest with you, I like the interior in the Ram more. It's the features and the interior are more for my taste, and that's what wins it over the Raptor R, especially when the TRX comes out. When people were to compare the two, there's a lot of features that the Ram offers, like the electric tailgate, the digital rearview mirror, the massage seats. I mean, Ford doesn't put the Blue Cruise in the Raptor, which I think for the price point they should. But, you know, I think if Ford went to the electric tailgate on the Raptor R and they put Blue Cruise in it, and they put massage seats in it, they'd have my attention on the Raptor R, 100%. But for what the price point is on that Raptor R, it should have those things. Now, I will tell you, I think the suspension is a little bit superior on the Raptor R. There's no doubt about that. Even the Raptor compared to the RHO. The RHO does well, but I really like the shocks and the suspension on the Ford. So I'm being fair on that, giving them that, because that suspension on the Ford and the adjustability and the selectable exhaust, there's a few things on the Ford that you don't get on the RHO. But my preference is this package today. I'm hoping when they release the new TRX, you get the best of both worlds. You're going to get the engine, you're going to get the power, you're going to get, you know, everything that I'm looking for. As of now, you know, if they don't, let's say they don't come out with a TRX till a year or two, I have never said this, y'all, and I have never done this many oil changes on a truck and kept a truck this long. Usually I'm out of them by now. I'm perfectly fine driving this truck. I'm going to keep driving it until the TRX comes out. The only thing that I would ever move to from this truck would probably be the Raptor R. And that's only going to default if the TRX doesn't come out. So I'm just being honest with y'all. I want to drop that out there and say it, because I want that supercharged V8. And so I will wait on it. But this truck is definitely, I love it and I'm happy with it. So I'll just keep driving it until that happens. But anyway, just kind of want to talk to y'all about it, and kind of how I kind of want to sum it up with how these small turbocharged engines, even in the Ford and even in the Ram, they have the diesel tendencies that a lot of guys like me that have driven diesels for years, just, you know, we want that low end torque. You know, we want something that's not wrapping out in every gear. You know, I mean, that's that's the difference between these engines and those engines. And there's you know, people are gonna say, well, those aren't gonna last. They're not going to. Those 3.5 EcoBoost have held up pretty good. There's a few little issues with those engines. You know, the Hurricane is new, so we don't have a lot of details on it. But I will tell you, from the standard output to the high output engine, I don't know a lot about the standard because I don't have one. I can't tell you. But I have the high output, and I know there's like forged pistons. There's a lot of differences in this motor versus the standard output. And so I've been beyond impressed. This thing it reminds me of like a German inline-six engine. It's just smooth as glass, kind of like in a BMW. The motor is just no vibration. I mean, it is, you can tell it's highly balanced. And I think that's what gives it the kind of luxury feel. And it has a good tone in the top end, and that's part of it. You know, the tone is really good. It sounds good. The idle's a little raspy, you know, but overall, when you're in it, I mean, it has a really good tone. So, I mean, yo, I'm driving 75 miles an hour on the highway right now. It is super quiet in this truck. The sound system's great in this truck. Everything across the board. So, anyway, I'll quit talking to y'all. Just kind of want to throw it out there today. Just give you my opinion, 12,000 mile update. But anyway, if the video helped you any, please hit that like, please subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.